Can you guys hear me? Okay, I feel like the mic should be working now. Okay, can someone just do me a favor and drop a one in the chat if you can hear me? Because I would hate to be talking and y'all can't hear me. Drop a one in the chat if you guys can hear me. All right, so we're going to be talking about opening your beauty supply store in 2026, y'all. As you're coming in, go ahead and drop your city in the chat. We have this mission of opening 100 Black-owned beauty supply stores in 2026. It is a very aggressive mission that we have to get all of these Black-owned stores open. But y'all, this is a huge movement, y'all. This is a huge movement of entrepreneurs getting into this industry. And so, y'all, if you are someone who wants to get this store open and you want to be a part of that 100 stores that's going to get open, this is going to be the training for you. This is going to be the training for you. Also, I want to know in the chat, what cities are you guys going to launch your store? So I want you to drop your city in the chat. Rep your city, y'all. Rep your city. This is time to rep your city. It's time to talk about where you want to open, and it's time to just be bold about where we want to get these stores open. I'm so happy it's daylight savings time, y'all, because the way I can watch this sunset is beautiful. But yeah, let's talk about where we want to open these cities. We have open stores in so many different cities, and I'm really wanting to break ground in the Midwest areas. So those states in the Midwest, I'm wanting to break ground there. We have stores on the West Coast, like Nevada, California, of course. But there's other stores I feel like on the West Coast that we haven't tapped into. And so I'm really, really interested in breaking ground over there. Okay, so we have somebody, okay, Maryland. Okay, Jackson, Mississippi. Okay, awesome. Awesome, awesome. Thanks for sharing. Where else are you guys planning on opening stores? Drop your city in the chat. Um, Mississippi, we have a store over there that's, I always forget the area that we opened this store, but it's like almost, it's very close to Louisiana. And I always forget the town, child. It's by the it's like a gambling kind of casino area. Sacramento, California is in the building. Welcome, 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 welcome. What other cities, guys? What other cities? Sacramento, not California, yes, but not Sacramento, no. So that would be a first. That would be a first. That would be awesome. Um, Biloxi, no. Washington D.C. We opened a store there. Arlington. Oh yes, we have opened a store in Arlington. So let me tell you, sis, it was Gate Gate something. Damn, I'm gonna remember, and I'm gonna drop it in the chat once it comes back to me. Um, it's gonna come back because this is gonna bother me. This whole training that I can't remember this city, but I just remember I had to Gulfport. There you go. It was Gulfport, yo. I was about to be bothered this entire training because I would have been thinking about where is where's the store? Gulfport. Yes, it was Gulfport, Mississippi, where it was so hot. Y'all, that Gulfport, Mississippi, it was so hot when I went there. I said this was worse than Nevada. But yes, girl, Gulfport is where we opened the store. And yes. Okay, y'all. Let's keep the chat going. I'm going to get this training started, y'all. We are going to get the training started, guys. Um, and also, like I said, I love to keep the chat going because I'm just very, very curious as to where we are going to be opening these stores. And and like I said, there are some places I definitely want to break ground in. So keep dropping it in the chat. Keep dropping them in the chat. All right, so let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. let's see. Okay, hopefully you guys can see my screen. Can y'all see my screen okay? Drop a one if you can see these slides so we can get into it. And like I said, y'all can also, whatever questions you guys have as I'm going through the training, go ahead and drop them in the chat, because I'll be able to go back to the chat and answer your questions. So anything that comes to mind, go ahead and drop it in the chat. I'll be able to come back to the chat. So yeah. Okay, so let's get it. Where are we at? I don't. Oh Lord, where? Help me, God. Where are these slides? I just had it up. Oh my goodness. Yo, this is the problem with having all these tabs up. Give me a second, guys. Okay, here we go. I got it. Okay, so before we get into the training, y'all, I have this legal notice and copyright consent disclaimer that I must say before every free training that I do, because people love to steal my stuff. So this training, including all of its strategies, frameworks, predictions, methods, and materials, is the exclusive intellectual property of Janice Fedras and the Retail Genius. It is provided for personal, educational use only. Any reproduction, distribution, recording, sharing, or commercial use of this content, including using it as your own program, trainings, and offers, is strictly prohibited and will be enforced under U.S. copyright and intellectual property law. So that just means, y'all, please do not copy and paste this stuff and sell it on the internet, because that has happened and we've had to sue people. So let's not do it. But let's get started, because the Black-owned beauty supply takeover is here, y'all. And like I mentioned, guys, we have opened so many stores for the past almost decade that we have been in this industry. But y'all, we have a huge mission to open more stores. Okay, so these are some of our success stories, and we have a lot of clients, but there's some clients I'll just love to highlight, because their stories and how they got their start is just similar to a lot of us who will be watching. And so I share these stories and I share these case studies as a way to encourage you guys that no matter your situation or where you are right now in your journey, this dream of opening a beauty supply store is possible for you. When I got started with my own stores, this was almost 20 years ago, y'all. There was no representation. There was no one online teaching this stuff. There was no one that I could look up and see that this has been done. I just did it not knowing that it was possible. And so today, as I show you so many different Black men and women who have the same stories as you and I, it is 100% possible. Okay, so this is Quality Beauty Supply out in Grayson, Georgia. This is New York. Beauty Supply, these gentlemen opened the first Black-owned beauty supply store in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. This is Jazzy Chick Beauty Supply, one of the first beauty supply boutiques in Henderson, Nevada. These sisters, Be Brave Beauty Supply, they opened their store in California. This was about 3 years ago. Had 2 locations. And then we go to My Shade and Texture. She is down south in Florida, Tampa, Florida, and opened one of the first natural hair care stores in the area, House of Melanin in Oak Park, Illinois. Then we have Bold Culture Beauty, also in Florida, in Orlando, Florida, and Mega Beauty Supply in Cypress, Texas, which is a Houston, Texas area. So on tonight's agenda, we are going to be sharing the real state of the beauty supply industry in 2026. Okay, so I'm going to be talking to you guys about the current status of this industry in 2026, because I'm sure a lot of you guys have questions on what that looks like with everything going on. I'm going to also talk to you guys about what has changed over the past 2 decades that I have been in this industry, and what smart store owners are doing now that things are a bit different. Okay, I'm going to share with you guys funding, how to get funding, funding trends, and how to position your store to win in this economy. Also, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how you could move forward with my team and I at the very, very end. And so there will be an opportunity to continue to do this great work and take the next step into making this dream a reality. So if that is you, and that is something that you know in your heart that you want to do, You definitely want to stay around to the very, very end, because I'm going to be sharing with you guys how you can literally move forward and join us, me and my team, to get your store open in 2026. So, guys, there are some reasons why you need to get started with your beauty supply store today. Now, the most popular reason is number one, drop a one in the chat if this is you. You are tired of your 9 to 5 and you know that you want to move on to entrepreneurship so that you can go ahead and impact lives and impact your community. Number two, you also realize that your community is waiting for a Black owned beauty supply store to open. And number three, you also realize that you want to create financial freedom and generational wealth. And you understand that you cannot get that done with a 9 to 5 job, that you have to get this done through entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is the only way for you to truly have the American dream, by creating financial freedom and generational wealth, creating something that you can pass down to your children, because we can't pass down our 9 to 5 jobs to our children. That's just not possible. So, if any of those resonated with you, I want you to drop a one, a two, or three in the chat. Or if it's all three, you can say it's all three, sis. Okay? Because it was all three for me when I got started in beauty supply. And I'm going to share my story with you guys in a few seconds. But before I share my intimate story with y'all, I just want to share who I am for those of you who are on and you are watching a training from me for the first time. First of all, I want to officially welcome you into my tribe. So if you are watching this training, you probably saw me somewhere on the internet and was like, this is interesting and I want to learn more. So welcome to the tribe. I do trainings all the time. We have a free Facebook group called the Black Beauty Supply Power Circle group. So you can join that group. And literally my YouTube is where you want to be tapped in, because I drop a video every single week. So this is home. This is all that I really talk about, guys, is my passion and love for seeing Black people open beauty supply stores, because I saw that there was so much money to be made. And when I founded the Retail Genius program, my sole mission was for other Black people to experience what I experienced when I opened my store, and I made over $1 million in beauty supply. So to date, guys, we have helped Black women secure over $1 million in funding for their stores, meaning we got them the money to open their beauty supply stores. And our clients have generated over $15 million in sales, right, collectively. And this is just our clients, right? And so you can just imagine, if we take that and we 10x it to 100 stores, how much millions we can make in the Black community, where our Black dollar can now circulate within our community. So I have been recognized by so many different publications, Black Enterprise, so many blogs. I've also written for Beauty Independent magazine. And one thing that I'm most proud of is that I am a single mom of 5, building legacy for my children. So like I said, we've been featured in so many different publications. But once our programs got featured, like in the Business Insider, right? The Business Insider wrote that the Retail Genius Bootcamp program is helping to fill the pockets of Black women. Yahoo Finance wrote and said the program has helped Black women generate $3 million in beauty supply. And Kivo Daily says Janice Fredericks is reclaiming the beauty supply industry for Black women everywhere. That is so powerful. Janice Fredericks is reclaiming the beauty supply industry for Black women everywhere. So it's not to one location. And that's why I love when you guys share where you want to open your stores, because it just shows you that just on this training, there's women and men, there might be men on here, but there's people all over the United States who is interested in getting their start in beauty supply, y'all. And so that brings me to my grand opening and how I got started. So this is my grand opening from 2010, right? From 2010, almost 2 decades ago. And this was literally the day that changed my life, because this was the day that I got married to entrepreneurship, right? I never went back to a job once I got my start in entrepreneurship, which was through beauty supply. And y'all, I have done so many businesses after I had my stores. And when I tell you that there is no business like the beauty supply business, and just being able to come here and just be a change maker and a pioneer, it just reminds me of the civil rights movement. There was not many people who were civil rights leaders, right? There was only a few who was called for that type of work. And I feel the same thing with beauty supply. There's a few who's going to be called to this type of work because it is a very hard industry to get into. But when I tell you, once you open those doors, like my grand opening, the community has such an outpouring love for those who open black owned beauty supply stores. Like they really come out and support because again, we've never seen this before, right? The community has never seen a black owned beauty supply store. So when you open the first black owned beauty supply store in your community, literally the community is going to come out and really support and rally you, especially if you open your store right. And so when I tell you, it was great that I had my entire family there, my mom, my grandma. I had aunts that, flew out to see me cut this ribbon on my grand opening day. Like it was just amazing to see my parents so proud. It was amazing for me to feel like I've actually done something that I thought wasn't even possible, but because I just had so much belief in myself, I did it anyway. And it was just amazing for the community to come out and just be in awe of this young black girl opening a beauty supply store. So I would love for you guys to share with me who is the one person that you would want at your beauty supply store? Like who would you be doing this for? Like whose life would change if you was actually able to open your own beauty supply business, right? This could be your mom, this could be your dad, your children. Like who's the one person that you would want to be standing with you at your ribbon cutting ceremony? Drop their name in the chat. This literally, is the one thing that will keep you on fire when you think about opening your beauty supply store and you're like, this is hard, but in the back of your mind that you're doing this for someone very, very special. And you keep going because you're thinking about who you're doing this for and how your lives will be changed if you actually make it happen. Okay. So I see some names in the chat. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. Because here's the thing, guys, it is already March, right? And so, one question that I want to ask you is how do you want to spend the rest of 2026? We're almost at the end of the first quarter. So, imagine this, y'all. Imagine this that by the end of this year, you could be celebrating your own grand opening store. Okay. Can you see this happening, right? Can you see yourself stepping into ownership in 2026? And what would it mean for your life, right? What would it mean for the way things are going in your life if you was able to make this happen and you was able to open the first black-owned beauty supply store in your community? What would that mean to you personally, right? What would that mean to you personally? Because the opportunity is here, guys, right? I want to give everybody the space to believe that it is here and is for the taking. The only question is, are you ready to claim it? Okay? Because there are a lot of things, and I'll say this right before we move on. There's a lot of things that really hold Black people back outside of the obvious things. It's a lot of self-limiting thoughts. It's a lot of disempowering language, right? Especially in the Black community where we haven't naturally been taught business and money mindset and investing in ourselves. We are actually taught consumerism. Buy Beyonce tickets, get the vacation, get the iPhone, get the bag, get the shoes, right? Throw the kids' birthday parties every single year, spending thousands on kids' birthday parties every single year. We're not taught investing in ourselves and ownership. And that's why you see Black women on the consumer side of beauty supply, because I'm going to show you in a few slides the numbers in which we spend billions of dollars in the beauty supply industry and we have less than 10% ownership, right? So a lot of our thoughts is like, I don't have enough money. I think this industry is saturated. I don't know how to get accounts open. All of these things start to flood our brains when we want to do something different, right? Investing in a business is something that a lot of us, we don't come from families of entrepreneurs. I didn't, right? And so once you are trying to do something uncomfortable or something that's just out of your zone, right? Your brain is going to start flooding with all of these thoughts. And so what I want to encourage you guys to do is to not use disempowering language. And it could be any venture, right? Whenever you're doing something new, it's going to be scary and it's going to be fear. And so you have to stop that disempowering language before it actually creeps into your head. Because I want you to be thinking of yourself as an investor, right? As an owner, right? And when you come and you think yourself bigger than what you currently are, all of that really gets removed out of your head, right? It gets removed out of your head. And so, with all that being said, there are some solid questions that you guys may have about the Asians and how they got started, and if there are gatekeepers, and how do I get funding. Like, literally, those are the key things that I'm going to be breaking down tonight. Okay. And so the biggest reason why you guys are here is that there is officially a wake up call for Black women everywhere. Because in the first quarter of last year, we saw that 300,000 jobs were lost by Black women. Okay. And literally, this was due to government shutdowns, which the government shuts down. It seems like every other month the government shuts down. Like, our jobs just aren't safe. And for Black women in particular, they're really not safe, right? DEI rollbacks, all of that have affected Black women and their jobs. And so this also happened to me, y'all. This also happened to me. I was pushed out of my job as a bank examiner as for the U.S. Treasury Department in 2008, which I'll be sharing that story as well. But I thought my job was safe until it wasn't. Okay. And so you may be sitting in a position right now where you may have a severance package that's on the table, and this seems very scary. I'm going to tell you to feel the fear and do it anyway, especially if this is your calling. Okay. Because the beauty supply industry is a billion with a B dollar industry. So it's time for a Black woman to literally own more than just the products, right? We are so focused on products. We actually need to be focused on owning the shelves and opening these stores. Okay. Because another statistic is that 80% of Black mothers are the primary sole breadwinners in their household, including me. I am a single mom of 5 small children. And so I understand where you not only are carrying your own vision, but the vision of children by yourself. And so it is literally up to us to make things shake for our children and to literally change the trajectory of their lives, right? And literally do something different. So this is Pampered Texture in North Dakota. This is our first case study, and this is Benisa, who is also a single mom. She came to me. She was a hairstylist before she opened her beauty supply store, and was like, "Hey, I want to get from behind the chair." So that may be some of you on here right now. You may be a hairstylist, a massage therapist, makeup artist, something in the service industry where you have to physically do the work, do the hair, do the massage, do the makeup, do the something. And you're looking for something a bit passive, right? A bit passive. And so this is exactly what we did with Benisa for her store, right? So we got her location. We was able to get her some funding for her store, and she was able to open up. And here in this text message that she sent is that she does an average of $400 to $500 a day in cash flow. Cash flow is not an issue because the salon is so busy. So literally, y'all, with whatever service-based business that you may have, the beauty supply attracts people to it. So if you have if you're a hairstylist or you do makeup or whatever, you open up a beauty supply store, it's going to attract more clients to your business. And so she has multiple stations where she's able to even have other stylists do hair as well. Okay. And again, she was a single mom of 4 from West Africa, okay, who was a hairstylist. Okay. So again, her story is just like our story, and she was able to make it happen. So now let's talk about 2025, what we saw in 2025 and what we are now seeing in 2026, because when we understand the numbers, we are empowered to make a move. So what we saw in 2025, which the economy was way worse than what it was now. Trump tariffs were introduced. It was just a lot going on in 2025. But what we did see was that the beauty demand stayed strong, even with that economic uncertainty. Ulta, which is one of our beauty giants, actually increased its annual sales forecast, and we saw foot traffic increase from 1% to 2%. Okay, so what that tells us is that the industry is not slowing down, and it doesn't slow down. Okay, and this is your opportunity to actually enter the market while it is rebalancing. Because here's what we know: when there's an economic downturn, people spend more money, because if you don't have a job, and this is why I sold my own store, people didn't have jobs, and they would use their unemployment checks to buy the stuff if they couldn't afford to get it done professionally, right? You still have to go to the beauty supply store and buy your stuff so that you can look good and feel good and then do good. Okay. So what we're seeing now in 2026 is that Black beauty and texture hair categories are actually going to be growing 4 to 6%, right? And Black consumers continue to drive billions in annual beauty spend. So again, guys, I must reiterate that the demand is not an issue. Demand is here. Okay, these stores, the cash registers are ringing. Okay, the issue is ownership. Ownership is the issue. So this is the year, 2026 is the year that Black women stop watching these stores get open and we start owning them. Okay, because opening a store is not just about business, it's economic justice. Okay, because here's the other thing, we are not new to this, we are true to this. Okay, we have had Black female pioneers come before us in the early 1920s and literally become millionaires in the beauty industry. And most of you guys know these names: Madam C.J. Walker, Annie Malone, right? These women became self made millionaires in a time when you can't even legally have a bank account in your name as a female, right? And they made it happen. Okay, let me say that again. They became millionaires in the beauty industry. And so literally they gave us the blueprint to make this happen. And so you should feel super empowered right now, y'all, because this is literally our ancestors. It is in our DNA and it is in our blood for us to capitalize and be millionaires in the beauty industry because our pioneers already paved the way and showed us what the blueprint is. Okay. And so, y'all, this is exactly how I was able to get my start with getting laid off from my job. Now, I started during the mortgage crisis, right? Which was another time where the economy was terrible, absolutely terrible. Y'all remember the mortgage crisis in 2008, right? That's when I was fired too. I was laid off. It was a Wall Street crisis. And again, I was a Wall Street girl, and I thought I was always going to be a corporate girl. I thought I was always going to be a Wall Street girl. Okay. I went to business school and did all of the things. But then I found myself getting laid off from my job. My parents was like, you got the degree. You can just go get another job. So many of you are on here now. Maybe you got laid off and you're saying, I got the degree. Black women, we got degrees now. We got more degrees than a thermometer. And literally, we can always get the job. But something was telling me that I shouldn't just go for another job because the previous job almost had me on Xanax. That's how stressed out I was. I was so stressed out in my job, y'all, that my doctor literally prescribed me Xanax because I was getting anxiety attacks every single day. Like, it was such a high pressure time and a high pressure job that I was just like, this cannot be God's best for me. And God literally took me from that position so I can open my beauty supply store. So once I got laid off, literally, I was in a beauty supply store. I was looking around. I was seeing the cash registers ring, 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 ring. And I saw all the Black women in there not getting helped and frustrated because the people that we were spending our money with couldn't help us. And I said, you know what? I looked around. I said, you know what? That was my aha moment. This is the business that I need to open. This is what God is telling me what to do. And it was clear. I saw the vision of everything that my store was going to have right there in that moment as I was sitting in the beauty supply store. I said, I need to do this, y'all. And at the time, again, this was almost 20 years ago, I had never seen a Black beauty supply store. I was like, can Black people really do this? And I was like, I'm going to find out because I'm going to do it myself. And I'm going to be the first. And I was the first Black-owned beauty supply store in my community. Fast forward to 2026, we have the #1 consulting agencies helping hundreds of Black people open beauty supply stores all across America, Canada, and the Caribbean islands. And this would have never happened if I was not fired from my job. Okay. And I don't want anyone to feel like when you got fired that you were a failure. No, because God is literally calling you to do something else. And if you didn't get fired, like, you was never going to leave. You was never going to leave if you didn't get fired. So he literally had to push you out of that position so that you can come into something greater. I was depressed when I got fired from that job. I felt like such a failure. I felt so bad until I saw what God had for me. And when I tell you, if I could go back and get fired 10 times over, I would go back and get fired 10 times over, because I understand that on the other side is me opening the first Black owned beauty supply store in my community. Okay. So now I want to get into the numbers, y'all, because I told you the numbers is crazy. So this is the beauty supply market by the numbers, right? It's $100 billion industry driven by Black consumers by $8 billion, right? However, 92% is owned by the Asian demographic, which leaves 8%, less than 10% now, is owned by African Americans in a market that we built, right? Because I just showed y'all how Madam C.J. Walker and Annie Malone started in the 1920s. And so literally a century later, we see that Black women are less than 10% of the entire market. Dang. So now what do we do now? So now I want to transition to what do we do now? How can we open? What are some of the things that are working well? What are some of the gems, right, that you guys can implement as you're opening your beauty supply store? So let's start off with the first thing, and it's all about product and product mix. Okay, so in 2026, y'all, what we are seeing with our stores is that the products and brands that perform well are going to dominate. And so no longer can you open a beauty supply store just copy and pasting what other stores are doing and what other products they have, right? Because our customers are now literally looking for products that really, really work. And if your store doesn't have the products that really, really work, right, people are not going to trust your store. Okay. Fluff products are dead and results driven shelves will win. And so the secret gem here, y'all, number one, is that you want to build a results driven product mix. Now, what is a product mix? This is a retail term. And so another thing that I will say, guys, when you get into this industry, please understand that you are coming into the retail industry. Okay. So you want to put your retailer's hat on and understand the language. And so again, the language that you have to learn is retail language. So understanding what a product mix is your product mix is going to be all the different categories that you are going to sell in your beauty supply store. So that could be men's products, children products, chemicals, electronics, natural, organic, clean products, right? That's all the things you're going to sell in your store that's going to generate the revenue in your business. So curating a product mix that is tailored to your community and not what everybody else is doing is going to be paramount for your store's success. Okay, because I will tell you guys this. I have seen stores, big warehouse stores, that failed because they had the wrong products and the wrong product mix. Okay. Now, this was my store, y'all, Fabulous Freddy's in Queens, New York. And this is how we were able to make 5-figure months. So 15K, 20K months in a store that was 800 square feet of space. That's tiny. But what I did right, because I cared, was that I was very, very particular about the brands that I carried in my store. I knew I was catering to women. And again, this was almost 20 years ago. But I was catering to women who was going through the natural transition. So this was the era of the big chop, right? This was when women was just literally chopping their hair off, and they was chopping their hair off, and it was like, oh, well, I don't know what to do now, because all the products that I was using before was for permed hair, right? And so this was literally at the beginning of the natural hair care movement. This is where we saw Jane Carter, Carol's Daughter. Like, I was carrying those types of brands in my store before it was popular. And because I was carrying all these like exclusive high-end products that Black women were searching all over, like I had people from all of the tri-state area coming to my store because I was carrying these niche products, and they literally loved the experience as well. And this is how I made my money, because I didn't carry everything for everyone because I didn't have that type of space, right? And so when you are particular about what you want to carry, you want to see that you're going to create a tribe that is going to literally bang your doors down, okay? Now, the second thing that I want to mention is the new trend is going to be is for you to have a private label brand in your store. This is going to be a standard. Private label is you having your own brand of whatever in your store. And here's the thing, like retailers are replacing third party brands with their own brands, right? Because this allows you to create your own profit margins, right? Because you're creating your own pricing, right? So this allows you to have higher profits in your store, deeper loyalty, and more ownership. So not only do you own the beauty supply store, but you actually have your own brand within the store on your shelves that you own. Okay. So gem number 2, y'all, and I hope y'all have your notes out, your notebook out at this point. But gem number 2 is to launch your signature product. Drop that in the chat, right? So the first gem, y'all drop it in the chat. The first gem was product mix, right? Drop that in the chat. Second gem is to launch your signature product. Drop that in the chat because I want to make sure y'all paying attention, okay? I know this is a free training, but it's still a training, okay? It's still a training. So drop in the chat, launch your own signature product, okay? Because you want to build wealth beyond the store wall. So this is exactly what we did with My Shade and Texture out in Tampa, Florida. So Pam, she was when she came to us, she was actually working for the government as well, right? And wanted to transition from working her government job to ownership full time. Well, the great thing about Pam's store and the success that she saw was literally within the first 6. So we had a plan for her to quit her job within 6 months of her opening store. She was able to quit her job within the first couple of weeks because that's how much money her store was able to make. And what was so unique about her store is that she created her own product line of different oils and scrubs, right? So she had a bar in the back of her store where customers can come in and mix and match and make their own concoction of different oils and scrubs and really have an amazing experience so that when you walk out her beauty spa store, you have your own little mix of scrubs or oils or whatever it is that you mix together, right? And this is all off of her product brand, right? So she branded everything. She branded all of these like natural oils and natural scrubs and minerals. And literally there's a bar back there where you can mix and match and make your own concoction. It's absolutely amazing. Okay. And so 2026, next key is making sure that you have a hybrid beauty supply store, that you are not just operating off of your 4 walls, but that you also are online, because guys, AI and technology is literally taking over. And if you don't have AI and technology and up-to-date technology in your store, you are literally leaving money on the table, because people are now expecting to shop online and pick up in store and delivery options and emails every day and SMS message updates, like all of these things. This is how people are shopping in 2026. Okay. And so you want to make sure that you literally have AI, and like literally guys, with the clients that we have now, we are looking at AI every single day and how we can implement AI in our store so that we can be more efficient. Okay. And so the gem here is to build a dual channel retail machine, literally waking up to sales, right? Doing business all over the world, having people buy their beauty supplies in store and online so that you can make money in your sleep, y'all. And so this is another amazing success story. This is Christina. She opened a store in Los Angeles, California called Curly Girl Love. And when she came to us, she was actually a school teacher turned stay-at-home mom, just had a baby, and was like, I do not want to return to the classroom because I want to raise my babies. I want to spend time with them. I want to be attending all the things. And so we was able to work with Christina and get her store open, get her funding for her beauty supply store, and get her store open. And literally in this text message here, guys, you see how I ask her how sales are at the half year mark. And as you can see here, the screenshot is from August 6, 2023, right? She responds that she made $96,978, almost 6 figures in 6 months. And then she goes on to say that 12,000 was made on DoorDash, y'all. And so I want you guys to start thinking again, these additional revenue streams You need to have in your beauty supply store so that your store can also be $1 million store, because you have all these revenue streams that's available to you underneath the umbrella of the beauty supply business, right? This is exactly what Benisa did. I shared her story with you guys the very first beginning of the slideshow, right? She's from West Africa. She's a single mom of four. She was a hairstylist. She opened a hair salon in her beauty supply store. Beautiful, 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 beautiful hair salon in her beauty supply store. I absolutely love her hair salon. Very, very beautiful. But this is also something that I did too. And this is one of the most popular ways to have that additional revenue stream is through a service-based business. Okay. So I will tell you guys, I just think that this is the way that beauty supplies are going to be marketed in the future, as a one-stop shop where you can get your hair done and your beauty supplies in the same place. We literally, when I had my beauty supply store, we had 2 stations, right? So that means I only had room for 2 hairstylists. We built up the salon in the back of my beauty supply store, right? And I already told you it was very small. It was 800 square feet of space. So we took 100 of that, built out the back, had 2 stations, had 1 wash bowl and 1 dryer. And our 2 hairstylists made $15,000 per month because all they did was weaves and sew-ins, right? And we had a bundle deal that was $500 where they can get the bundles from me, which was my signature brand, right? So we talked about the signature brand, and then they was able to get the sewing done. So they was able to get everything done for $500, and we sold that bundle deal like nothing else. And again, we was making 15,000 on average per month just off of the salon business. Okay, so I want you guys to think about what service-based business could I potentially implement in my store, or what else could I sell? What other product? You know what I'm saying? Like, sky is the limit when it comes to having a beauty supply business. And so I want you to think of it as the parent company up here, right? This is your beauty supply business with all of the additional revenue streams underneath, right? So you have your product line, you have your service-based business, you have, your delivery business. You could do that through DoorDash, right? All of these things. And there's so many more. I'm going to give y'all a few, but there's so many more revenue streams to this business. It's absolutely insane. Okay. So now let's talk about the funding. Okay. Because a lot of people feel like funding is impossible and there's no money there. Okay. So let me just tell you, money is not the problem when it comes to funding your beauty supply store. Your positioning is. So a lot of lenders are cautious when it comes to lending money. And so you just need to make sure that you are properly positioned. And in order to do that, y'all, here's another gem, is that you need to have a winning business plan. Okay. Your business plan is what is going to unlock 6-figure funding for your beauty supply store, right? Like I mentioned, we got $1.5 million for our clients in funding, right? And so it is possible. So this is what I call the 5 P's of a business plan. So there's only 5 key elements that you need to include in your business plan in order to get funding for your beauty supply store. Okay. So the first P in your business plan is going to be place. This is going to be the location. This is going to be you breaking down the traffic, the demand, and the demographics. The second P is going to be the purpose. This is going to be how you plan on using the money, right? This is called sources and uses of funds. So exactly where the money goes and why it works, right? Okay. The third one is your product mix, right? So again, your product mix is the backbone of your business. This is all the inventory in your store, and inventory is the largest asset on your balance sheet. So they want to understand what are going to be the high margin items that you plan on selling in your beauty supply store. Okay. The fourth P is going to be your promotion. This is your marketing efforts. How do you plan on finding customers and keep them coming back? So I like to say, how do you plan on stealing people? Okay. Because everybody is shopping somewhere for their beauty supplies. It's not like people are not shopping. So you just need to figure out how you're going to steal some people. How you going to kidnap people so that they can come to your beauty supply store, and how do you plan on getting them to come back, which means staying loyal to you and not going back to where they used to shop. Okay. That is what you're going to share in that marketing section. Okay. And then the last P is going to be your projections. This is your financial projections. This is going to show the lender all of the numbers that you project you're going to make in your beauty supply business. So this is clear revenue of sales. How much do we plan to make in sales every year, and break that down monthly? They want to see at least 3 years of clear revenue projections. Then your expenses, right? How much is it gonna cost, number one, to even build up this whole store? And then what are going to be the monthly costs for your store? And then you also want to show your break even number. So at what point does this store is this store going to be profitable? Okay. I would just go ahead and tell you guys, for our clients that join our programs, it's usually 6 to 8 months that you see a profit, which is really, really fast for any business. Some businesses don't make profits the first couple of years, let alone the first couple of months. Okay. And so this is just an example of what lenders reject versus what gets approved, right? So in your business plan, just saying, I just love hair and beauty. I just love hair. I just love it, right? You need to say and state, this store serves a high demand Black and brown consumer base with proven repeat purchases, right? They will reject vague location ideas. In your business plan, you want to show specific plaza and traffic counts. Like, where do you see this store being? What's the traffic count? What's the demographics, right? And if there are nearby anchors, right? What are anchors? That's like the big stores, like a Walmart, like a Target, like a Trader Joe's, like a Whole Foods, right? And again, your breakdown of your product mix. You want to show an intentional product mix with the margins that these lenders already understand. And you want to make sure that your projection numbers are conservative, that show break even and cash flow. I'm going to bring Keisha up because she has something exciting to share.
Yes, ma'am. So last week I reported that I went underwriting, and today I actually got approved for my full amount for my loan.
Yay!
Thank you, Janice, actually, for saying, no, call him tomorrow. I got the official email announcement today that I got the full amount that I requested. And yes, so I'm excited. I'm nervous and everything all in between. I mean, it took me a year to get here. I'm here now. The money is available.
Well, that's so exciting. Let everyone know what the full amount is.
I got 150K.
Yes. See, it's possible, y'all. It's possible.
And in the words of Janice, everything's going to be moving fast right now.
So y'all, that was Keisha. She opened a store in Houston, Texas, and got, like she said, 150,000 in funding using our business plan, financial projections in our program, y'all. Okay, so it is 100% possible for you to have a fully funded beauty supply store once you have the proper positioning and the correct business plan, financial projections, so these lenders can see how serious you are and give you the money for your store. Okay, so let's do a quick check-in. I know this was a lot of information, and I'm literally excited to get y'all feedback on how you guys are feeling now that you kind of understand how to open a beauty supply store, how much these stores make, what it's going to take. So let me know in the chat, guys. Let me know in the chat. Was this helpful? If this was helpful, give me a yes in the chat. Let me know if I did my job. Let me know if I did my big one, y'all. Okay, let me know if I did my job. Was this training helpful? Give me a yes in the chat. Give me a yes in the chat. And then also let me know, and it's not for everybody, but if you are someone who have been on the fence, right, for years, months, whatever, with opening your beauty supply store, let me know if after this training, you feel like you are ready to actually take the next step in opening your beauty supply store. Let me know if you feel like you're ready to take that next step. And if you are someone who's on here and you said, I want to change my life and I want to change the trajectory of my family's life, and you want to join the movement of Black entrepreneurs taking over the beauty supply industry one store at a time, I want you to type in them, I'm ready, right? I want you to type, and it's not for everyone, like I said, right? This is not for everybody. But if you know that this has been on your soul and you just happen to come across this training, let me just tell you, this is from God himself. that you are on this training. So if you feel like you're ready to take that next step, I want you to type in "I'm ready" in the chat. Type in "I'm ready" in the chat. Okay? Because here we go. Your next step into getting your store open is to join our 5-day startup challenge, y'all. So this is our 5-day challenge where you are going to work with me in getting everything started with your beauty supply store, right? So this is our live 5-day virtual experience where I'm going to be coaching you for 5 whole days, March 23rd to March 27th. Y'all, it is happening in less than 2 weeks. Okay. And this is the time for us to literally get your official starting line, right? And so we're spending literally 5 days back to back that's going to focus on helping you build the foundation of your beauty supply store, your brand, your business plan, literally everything that you need to launch your store. Even if you have bad credit, even if you don't have no funding, even if you don't have no savings, even if you have zero beauty experience, because I'm literally going to be teaching you guys everything you need to know over a 5-day period. And I'm going to be training y'all live. Okay, this is live teaching. Just like this is live. Okay. So let me break down each day so that you guys understand what you get in this challenge. So day 1, guys, we are going to be building your beauty supply foundation. Okay. This is where we're going to be identifying high demand products in your community, pinpointing ideal store locations, right? Mapping out the startup cost, the revenue goals, and your growth strategy, right? Identifying the tools so that you can launch your store faster and setting up your operations for day 1. Okay. Day number 2, we are going to be crafting your beauty supply identity, right? This is your brand for your business, right? Because again, we are building a multi-billion-dollar business. So I want you guys to not think of this as a mom and pop, right? So we need to create a clear brand identity that's going to be set apart from the competition. Because another thing that I hear from people a lot is that this is a saturated industry, and it's not saturated with stores like yours, right? We've never seen your store. And so what we do on day 2 is use the brand clarity framework to identify who you serve, what you offer, why it matters, and where you're going to stand out. This is how you're going to be able to attract and retain loyal customers, is through your brand. Okay. Day 3, we are going to be going over all of the different business models that are in beauty supply, right? Because it's not a one size fits all in how you can make money in this industry. Like I showed you a few, right? So you are going to learn the 3 proven business models that generate 6 to 7 figures annually. You are going to get the blueprint behind each model actually works, right? And why retail is not a one size fits all, and how you can have different strategies to position your store to create multiple 6 figures, right? So this is like a strategy day. This is a money day. And so that you understand that there's a certain structure that can determine how your store actually scales. All right. Day 4, we are going to be navigating all of the legal things to make sure that your business is properly structured. Okay, so we're going to be going through step-by-step guidance on the legals, and I have a checklist for you guys of all the licenses, permits, and things that you're going to need so that you are structured properly and legally for your beauty supply business. So you do not have to run into any legal issues after you are set up. And then day 5, y'all, this is where we get into the funding. Okay, because we want to make sure that everybody's positioned for funding. So I'm going to be teaching you guys our OPM funding formula, how to secure 6 figures in funding without using your savings. I'm going to be showing you how to leverage other people's monies. I'm also going to be sharing with you guys how in detail to build your business plan so that once you leave, you have the strategy and a funding roadmap to get your store started. Okay, so this is another success story. This is Terrell out in Dallas, Texas. The store is called Flawless Beauty Supply. She got $75,000 in funding for her store. And she says Janice was such a phenomenal help in getting this girl boss started. Her course had a lot of information that you cannot just get anywhere. Okay, so this is the full value breakdown of what you're getting with our general admission. So we have general and we have VIP tickets. Okay, So general, you're getting 5 days worth of the trainings. You're going to get a replay access portal. So this is an online portal where you'll have access to all of our trainings and content. And then you are going to get our workbook so that you can do the work, right? So right now, total value of everything you're getting is $791. And the investment is literally $47. Insane. Okay. Then we have VIP. So if you're a VIP girly like myself, whenever I invest in anything, I invest at the highest level possible. So if you're a VIP, guys, you get everything in general. Plus, you are going to get an additional hour of one-on-one coaching after the training. So our training starts at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then at 8 p.m., we have our VIP sessions. So that's literally right after. And so if you are someone who really is serious about opening a store and you want to get the coaching from me so that I can give you direct feedback on your homework and give you direct feedback on the direction that you need to go, then you definitely want to upgrade to our VIP option. And then you're also going to get my Beauty Supply Playbook, which is your ultimate success pack. So you also get that as well as the workbook. Okay, so that investment is $97 for the VIP. Okay, so I'm going to drop in the link in the chat so you guys can literally get your tickets. But guys, when you get your tickets, let me know in the chat. You have to come back to the chat and let me know that you are in. I want you to type in "I'm in" if you are coming to our 5-day challenge. Okay, so this is Elora Beauty Supply out in Jacksonville, Florida. This is another amazing case study. This is a couple actually. And they were able to get another $75,000 in funding for their store. And this was us at the grand opening, smiling ear to ear. We are cheesing in this picture, okay, because we're just so happy that they were able to get to this place. And so Jamesia says, Elora was our dream come true, and we could not have done it without Janice and her team. And y'all, I literally want to see y'all faces here on this slideshow next year. I know that there's at least 3 people on here who's going to be opening stores this year. And literally, y'all going to be on these slides next year. Okay. So this is why we decided to do a 5-day challenge, because it helps remove the confusion, guessing, delay, bad vendor decisions, costly mistakes, wrong. It removes all of that because we literally give you the roadmap that has worked for people nationwide. So again, everything that you are going to be getting in VIP is our daily coaching and training that you're going to be attending live. Again, we're going to be doing this March 23rd to the 27th. You're going to have the additional hour in our private VIP session. And you're also going to get the workbook as well as my official Beauty Supply Playbook. Okay. This is the playbook that we use with this store called New York Beauty Supply. This is the first Black-owned beauty supply store in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And literally, we help these guys generate over $10,000 in their grand opening weekend. Like this is us in Baton Rouge, and I'm actually going there this weekend. Actually, this is crazy, but I'm going there this weekend to check on their second location. But y'all, who wants to make $10,000 in their grand opening weekend? Because that type of money can be possible for you. Okay, so y'all, as I continue to wrap up, like this is the moment. This is the defining moment. Where you could choose to take the next step and get started, or you can sit on the sidelines, watch more trainings, see more posts, do more YouTube University, or you can join us in this program and literally get started with your beauty supply store. Because this is the program you want to join if you are serious about opening your store in 2026 and you are looking to get into the room of like-minded individuals. Okay, so this is your next move, guys. The program is officially open for you guys to join. We have limited seating, and so again, guys, if this is something that has been on your heart, because it's definitely not for everybody, I definitely would love to coach you live in our 5-day challenge so that we can start to build out your blueprint for your beauty supply store, y'all. And so, guys, any questions on this? We have about 1 minute that I can answer any questions that you guys may have. And let me know if the link is actually working for you guys. Let me know if the link is working for you guys. But yeah, y'all, we are doing this challenge, and I would love to coach you guys in getting your store started in 2026. Now, I don't do challenges often because we typically just work with our one-on-one clients and with the team. And when I tell you that cost is very, very high for the team to open a store, and I'm talking about 35,000 plus, you are getting all of this access for a fraction of the cost. Literally $47 for general and $97 for VIP. And the VIP is where you want to be if you want to open your store. That rhymed. But y'all, seriously, the VIP is definitely where you want to be if you want to open a store in 2026 because you're going to get that direct feedback in that one-on-one coaching. Besides the trainings that I'm going to be giving you guys. Okay. And also, guys, on the link, there's an option for Klarna and Afterpay. Okay. So if you don't got it now, don't worry, sis. I got you. There's Klarna that we put on there and also Afterpay that we put on there. Okay. So you could definitely take advantage of that as well. Okay. What's y'all questions? Drop it in the chat. Will registration link stay open until this event? Yes, ma'am. This link will be open until the event is sold out. Okay, so if it sells out tonight, that's when it will be closed down tonight. If it sells out next week, it will be open till next week. Any other questions? Any other questions about anything? Anything with the process? Anything with the program? Anything with the stores? Any other questions? I got 10 more seconds for y'all. I know that there's a slight delay on here. I got 10 more seconds for y'all. And then also let me know who's joining. If you're joining, say I'm in, so I can welcome you in. If you're joining, say I'm in, so I can welcome you in the challenge. Okay, y'all. So I have another call. And so I will wrap up, but you guys will also get the replay to rewatch this training. And then you'll also get the link. You'll also get the registration link to your email. So guys, just make sure you check your spam because my emails go in spam for some reason. Okay, it's the Retail Genius, Janice at theRetailGenius.com. Check your spams because I send the replay so you can rewatch this training, take notes. And then I'm also going to be sending y'all the link. So when you get the link, make sure that you copy and paste the link into your notes section or something like that so you guys can have it. So that if you want to go ahead and join at another time, you can go ahead and join. Okay, so we got somebody who's in. Yes. Welcome, sister. Welcome. Also, drop in the chat where you're going to open your store. La Sharika Tiara. I probably said that wrong. So sorry. But Tiara, let us know where you're going to be opening our stores. What city? Let us know what city. The Look House Apparel is in. Whoop, whoop. Yes, let us know in the chat where you are going to be opening your store. Yes. Let us know in the chat where you're going to be. I am so excited. Y'all, we are going to be breaking ground in so many cities this year in the name of Jesus. Yes. Okay, sis says she's in. Awesome. I am so excited to welcome you guys into the program. I just can't wait till y'all see this new content. It is fire. Me and my team has been working hard. And so this content, y'all, is fire. So I'm excited. And again, guys, please check your spam for the emails. Please check the spam for the confirmation emails because I can guarantee you it's going to be in your spam. So I don't want nobody to email me and say, I joined and I didn't get no confirmation. It is, I guarantee you, it is in the spam. It is in the spam. Okay, y'all. And so also I want to share with you guys, when you guys are joining with, if you're doing the VIP, guys, you're going to get all of your ebooks and everything to your email. So you should be able to download that. Janelle, let's go. I'm ready. I'm in. Let's go. Awesome. Yes. So if y'all saying I need some guidance, this is where you want to be locked in because I'm gonna give you guys all of the guidance over these 5 days. It's gonna be so much information. Y'all have a workbook that you're gonna be working out of. And so it is literally everything that I literally wish that I could have had access to when I was starting my store. That I'll be giving you guys as a blueprint. All right. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who joined the training tonight. I don't take it lightly whenever anybody decides to tap into this industry that I am so passionate about, that God placed on my heart to start over 20 years ago. And so I look forward to helping you guys open your beauty supply stores. Welcome to the program once again. Congratulations. Also, congratulations, okay, for taking the step and investing in yourself, okay, because that's not something that we are used to doing in the Black community, is investing in ourselves in a business. And so I want to congratulate you as well for taking that step and investing in yourself. You are already a change maker. And so I'm going to log off here, guys. Good night. And I will see you guys inside of the challenge. Have a good night.